Hello guys, welcome back. It's Christian from Emotions in Wine. I hope the new year is proceeding well for everyone so far. Already some videos out, but those were related to the holidays. Now we start a new program. There is a lot cooking, even different things in the coming weeks, let's say a couple of months. Today is an important grape, Cabernet Franc, as you've seen from the title, but from a specific region, not from various areas. So Cabernet Franc is the father of most of the Bordeaux blend grapes. So Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Cabernet are all sons of Cabernet Franc. May sound strange, but that's the truth. Actually, also to me it sounded strange when I discovered it. I didn't expect this way. For several reasons, but the main one being that Cabernet Sauvignon in particular is much richer, stronger, more powerful than Cabernet Franc. So Cabernet Franc is particular. Usually is used in the blends. Rarely is 100%. In France, Bordeaux almost never. In Loire Valley, which is the second main option in France, instead is done 100%, but being cooler region, it is expressing even more those herbal notes that are quite characteristic, and lighter tannins, even further lighter, and structure. So it's a bit more reminding Pinot style than the Cabernet style. So that is something that people like. I'm not a big fan, honestly, because it's still a Cabernet, is not a Pinot family grape, so I would prefer a bit more rich and complex and made in the proper regions. It's said that Mediterranean climate is more favorable. That's why you find in Tuscany some big Cabernet Franc 100%, and in the last decades Villanyi in south of Hungary came out as the same. Most famous 100% Cabernet Franc already before in Napa Valley, so California in general, but Napa Valley in particular. Lately also Argentina, which in this moment seems to be the #1 region for great Cabernet Francs. Country region in specific is Mendoza, Uco Valley. There are high ratings. I tried something a few years ago. Very top-notch wines. So at the moment seems, even with the many wineries making them, so seems really the best expression. Of course, if you like the cooler way, then Loire can be your style, Friuli another alternative, but less interesting than Loire for sure, but more on those herbaceous notes, lighter structure, but those are really few regions. So going about Mediterranean style, the most interesting are the others that I mentioned, and in Europe for sure Tuscany and south of Hungary. Strange because it's continental climate, but for some reasons Villany near Peć, so near the border with Croatia, I showed the maps, is in the summer is very Mediterranean. It's called the Mediterranean of Hungary because of the geolocation, geostructure, the winds and everything, and it's dry a lot in the summer while it's humid and wet in the winter, spring. So that makes it in the summer in particular very Mediterranean style, and the temperatures can rise a lot. So that means that it's warm, very warm, and make the characteristic of Cabernet Franc more mature, let's say. So relevant Cabernet Franc in this region that they made even the denomination Villanyi Franc, which means really Cabernet Franc from Villany, that is undergoing a panel of blind tastings. Every year, every wine need to respect several characteristics. It can be premium or super premium. Super premium usually single vineyard, as we will see. So here we have premium. Ipacs Szabó is the winery. The name is a fantasy name because he gave up the money for the honeymoon to buy this vineyard. So something a bit also ironic. This is premium, so it's not from a single vineyard. 22 vintage, unfortunately, a bit too young, but for a premium it's still okay, and he's focused on elegance, so should be still nice, as the first taste I had showing. Still closed, of course. It's just 7 months in bottle, I guess. Anyway, this is a premium, so less low yield per hectare and less strict rules, so no single vineyard. While Attila Gere, which is the most historical winery probably in Villany, and surely one of the two most famous abroad, this is a super premium. So Villanyi Franc Ördögárok Dűlő, that is one of the main crews in the village, is 2020 vintage. So this is a bit more interesting to taste nowadays. So let's go for the pour. I pour them both together to let them breathe, especially the youngest one need time. I opened already 1 hour and a half ago, something like that. But still it's better to let them breathe. That's why I use also the two glasses together. So Cabernet Franc is ripening for the harvest in between Merlot and Cabernet Sauvignon. So that is good because Cabernet Sauvignon has the problem of the rains in September, October in many regions. For this is a bit better. So the point of the greener or more mature characteristics are related to the whole season weather. So as I said, the Mediterranean climate. So Ipacs Szabó is based in Siklos, which is nearby Villanyi. It's the same appellation, but is a bit cooler because there are a bit higher hills, even if there is not many crew famous there. But the region is a bit more interesting overall. And Gere is based in Villanyi, and in the Ördögárok vineyard is one of the three most important. So the color is very similar, even with 2 years of age difference. Ruby, a bit maybe purplish hint on the rim for the young one from Ipacs Szabó, while just ruby for Gere. So winemaking is a bit different. So I'm not gonna compare because there is two different things, even the age. But winemaking is also different. Ipacs Szabó is looking for elegance. So he started his own company in 2009, but he has long history in the area. Was the famous winemaker of one of the top wineries. Then he retired from there and now he's focusing only on his family and his winery. He's focused on Cabernet Franc. He's using all natural except the yeasts, trying to go environmental friendly, no pumping of the wine, so all gravity, and he's using also French barriques. So French and Hungarian barriques, partly new, so to give a bit more on the elegance. And his style also, maceration is medium, around 18 days. So he's always looking for elegance, first of all. That's why his wines in general are more drinkable, even younger. Of course, price range is completely different. This is premium, that is super premium. First, dark fruit, a touch of mineral, elegant immediately, delicate, as I said, has to open up. I will do also next day tasting tomorrow, so we will see a bit of evolution for both, but in particular, of course, for the second. Touch of spicy coming out slowly. I will taste first one and then the other anyway, but just I want them to breathe more. It's very pleasant, considering that it's just 2 years standing. A Cabernet Franc, so the tannin is not like Cabernet Sauvignon or even less than Merlot, but it has still a decent level of tannin. But here is already gentle, good persistence, quite good balance already, freshness, keeping salivating. So it's already presenting well. His style, his trademark is there, of course, it's still a bit young. That is a pity. Changing a bit more on the spices. So with that kind of climate, you don't have herbal notes, herbaceous in these Cabernet Francs. They are all more on the fruit, of course the spices, because they are all using oak and small casks, so they have a lot of spices and leathery and tobacco and other things usually after aging, coming from that mostly. The tannin is in many cases can be a bit higher than usual for the grape. In this case, no, it's quite standard. As said, he is not extracting too much. Anyway, not showing that much yet. It's still a bit because he's too young. It's a pity. Nice structure. Is medium plus body. As I said, good freshness, a mineral finish, very nice. The tannin is already gentle, so the way he makes everything in the vineyard and in the cellar is really focused on elegance and finesse. It's considered one of the most interesting on that. I guess he will make a super premium later on. Now it's just 15 years of age of the winery, so he needs time. The vineyards are not aged also, so that is another point that will add up in the time. Alcohol level is 14. Yeah, start to change a bit more on the spices, maybe coming out some hint of tobacco. Will surely be a very nice wine around next summer, so in 1 year of bottle. Now it's nice, but it's a bit young. And the next summer will be a step up. So now let's start with Gere. So as I said, the most historical, one of the 2-3 top, very famous worldwide. They have a lot of markets. So this one is very affordable. You can buy it about 20 euros here, but you can not even less. Let's say 16, 18 euros here, but you cannot find it, I guess. Outside is also still small, the winery. I don't have any clue, but I think he's not out of the country. While Gere being much bigger, this is medium plus size. They have 70 plus hectares, so it's already quite big size. Historical, so they sell in many markets, so you can find it around. Here in shop is costing about 25 euros, so still very reasonable for super premium and not too much more expensive than the other. 2020, I said, this is also 14 alcohol. Gere became famous, then developed a restaurant, a hotel, so also the hospitality to welcome the guests to stay there because the village is small and a bit away from the town. So it was a smart man, first of all. Lately, they declared that they do organic, but there is no any certification, but it is a good sign. Between the big ones, is still the one that I prefer because it's never too much powerful, even with this warmer climate they can give if you extract too much. And also focus on elegance, is consistent, most importantly, and I guess many vineyards are quite aged. Impactful immediately, very nice. But a lot of oak stuff. He is using only Hungarian. Used first and second year, so used maximum 2 years or new, and only Hungarian. I don't know about how toasty they are, but it's very impactful. The dark fruit, first of all, but then this sweet spice, very, very intense. Yes, very pleasant. Those nice characters, but of course this is given by the oak. The complexity, of course, is much higher than the other. Here we talk about 35 hectoliters per hectare, the yield, because by law they need to have. So the plant is producing little. I guess always the vineyards are quite old, so naturally they produce less. It's very nice dark fruit and these sweet spices, loads of sweet spices, a hint of tobacco, chocolate also. I show you the photos of the vineyard, which is a sort of valley, not natural. They excavated it. I don't know exactly if it was on purpose for the wineries or for something else. I forgot to say before, limestone clay is the standard of the soils. There is also a bit of loess in some areas, but limestone clay is the standard. This is a great complex wine that can show up much more. Tomorrow will give much more. Needs air, of course, is important. Has 4 years something, which is a bit, but it's not a lot yet. But it's already well drinkable. It's in drinking window. The elegant, also palate. The tannin is still firm, but already smoothening. So of course you need food, you cannot sip it itself, but it's in drinking window. Becoming balanced, still a good freshness and minerality, finishing with the dark fruit and the sweet spices. Yeah, now changing more, going more onto tertiary notes, so tobacco, some ethereal, maybe earthy. So it didn't specify much about winemaking, except the use of the cask. For Ipacs is about 1.5 years aging in casks. For him a bit less, 16 months. As I said, only Hungarian. Yeah, changing a lot. Tomorrow will give much more characteristics. Some earthy starting now, some leathery maybe also. So it's very complex, still elegant, but Ipacs is going more for finesse. But this is elegant, very complex, structured, but still with a good balance. It's not over powerful. So it's a great expression for me of Cabernet Franc. With a great aging potential. I know they age very well. Value for money is still very good, as I said, because it's a great wine already, this one. The other is a good wine. This is a great wine. So the value is stunning. Okay, the rest in the tomorrow's tastings. Here we are next day, 24 hours exactly after. I pour again. So Ipacs Szabó, Villanyi Franc 22. Gere, Villanyi Franc 2020, single vineyard, Ördögárok. So I already saw even yesterday night, but now I want to reconfirm some evolution. Ipacs showed a bit more complexity on some delicate spicy notes. Always delicate, really the finesse is his trademark and is showing quite well, being just 22 vintage. Yeah, still this didn't change. I also expect that it's just 2 years something, so I cannot expect that change too much. Already a bit more complexity, a bit more spices, some ethereal, the mineral mark a bit more. Even here, a touch of like earthy or something like that. Even if that, of course, need much more time to become a key character. On the palate is reconfirmed the same, already balanced, gentle, good freshness, good minerality, the fruit, this touch of spiciness, bit of, also here a bit of sweet spice. So for the age it's showing already well. It's a very nice wine, the value for money is stunning. The Gere, which open up much more. So that dark fruit always big impact. Then there is sweet spices. Then came out some coffee also. A touch of earthy, bit more evident, which makes sense. He's already 4 years something old. No leather that I didn't find honestly. Maybe just a hint, but majority is sweet spices, a bit of tobacco, coffee, and then some earthy. The mineral backbone also here. Huge complexity. Honestly, this is a great one. It's not highly rated. It's just about 90 online. I'm surprised, honestly. For me, it's better than that. Still this firm tannin, but great balance, great freshness, keep salivating, so perfect with the food, especially fat meats, but still not too powerful, not too much, too strong tannin. It's a great wine indeed. I'm quite impressed, even for my memories. Of course, now or a bit older vintages could be amazing, but now start to be a good drinking window after 4 or 5 years. So quite impressed by this tasty overall, because I didn't expect even that almost readiness for Ipacs being only 22. So I hope you enjoyed the tasting. Specific Cabernet Franc, so Villanyi Franc. Like, subscribe, comment, and see you next time. Maybe with some surprises in the next days. Let's see. Salute!